Question everything, trust nothing, except for your boy Keeper and Jesus. It is Tuesday. I'm super excited about the stream today. We're doing something totally different. Chat, my computer's doing something a little funky right now. Please let me know that you can see and hear me so I don't talk to myself for like 3 minutes. Please, somebody in the chat, give me a thumbs up. Give me a Jesus token. Give me something. Let me know that you guys are watching. My computer's being a little funky on my end. Also, just want to let everybody know I got a big storm rolling through. If for some reason at some point this does cut out, I will come right back on. So make sure to come back. Thank you, Billy. I appreciate you, brother. So yeah, so today I want to get into this. I've got somebody backstage that I'm super excited to bring up here in just a minute. We're going to have a lot of new people hopefully rolling in for the stream today. We're going to be doing a $300 giveaway, but this stream is going to be totally different than anything that I've done in a long time. We're definitely going to be talking some crypto stuff, but I've got Jesus Token here, the creator of Jesus Token backstage that I'm going to bring up. And we're not only going to talk about the project, talk about why the project came to be, what they're doing, all the great things that they're doing. Because, you know, I don't do a lot of paid stuff. And so when this got brought to me, I was like, you know what, I need to dive into this. And I dove into it and realized, wow, these people are really trying to make a difference and doing some cool things. And it is faith-based in my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And I was like, heck yeah, I need to check this out. So without further ado, we're going to give away some money today. That'll be at the end of the stream. But like I said, we're going to talk about the token, talk about the project, but way more than that, we're going to give a little testimony today and talk about what God's done in my life, what God's done in Maker's life. I think Lee's going to come on here in just a little bit. He's finishing up something at work. So I'm super excited about it. So without further ado, Maker Lee, Maker.
Hello. Great intro.
Glad that you are here, man. I've got thunder clapping in the background. We're gonna have an epic biblical day here on Trading War, so I'm excited about it. All right, so let's get into it. First of all, let me say hi to the chat real quick. Who's up in here? Who we got in here? We got JJ in the house. Caffeinated Crypto, brother. I always give you a little cheers. You're getting a Powerade today. I've already drank too much coffee, so I texted Crypto Billy this morning. He's in the chat. Good to see you, Billy. We've got Kara in the house. Who else is in here? We have, drum roll, please, Crypto Flex 777. I'm going to take a wild guess. That's somebody from the Jesus community. Magnetic in the house. FOMO Sapien. That is an interesting name there. Eric J in the house. Oh, my boy Crypto Blood. What's up, brother? Good to see you. Hey, thank you guys all for being here. All right, so Maker, let's talk about it. So let me give you a little bit of background here real quick to how you got here and where we're at today. And then I want to hear from you about the project. So there's a guy in your community named Lee, and he used to come into the chat for those people that are wondering like how or why or whatever is going on here. Lee used to come into the chat and he would give super chats, and they would always have the little money sign and Jesus. And I hesitated a few times to pull up the super chat because there's so much like darkness just in the internet, right? Like crypto is definitely guilty of it, but in the internet. And I was thinking, my first thought was, this better not be like some tongue-in-cheek thing where somebody's literally like slandering Jesus. Like I just was like a little bit hesitant. Fast forward, I ended up talking to him and realized, wow, you guys are doing a ton of really real, cool, faith-based stuff, and I love it. So talk to me about it. Let's talk about the project on the front end. Like, why a crypto project? What are you doing? Talk to me. Just kind of give me the overview.
Yes, great questions all around. Okay, so I'm in crypto. So why crypto is because I'm already here. It's so funny because, you know, let me start with, I am a very strong believer, spirit-filled, got baptized. I'm starting with that, bro. We got to go in on it.
All right, let's get it.
Got baptized when I was 25. Since that moment, my trajectory of my life in terms of the things that I focus on and the things that I do has been impacted tremendously by Jesus. And I know that there is no way that I can do anything in my life without him. And I know that if I'm going to do something, I can't pretend like he's not involved. So that's the preface.
Yeah.
And from that, it was, you know, I have been in crypto since like 2019. 2020, I started working more professionally, consulting as a marketer. Like
in the crypto space?
In crypto space, yeah.
Okay.
So it was basically just like this like weird, you know, ADD fascination with like the tech side of things,
right.
And me combining it with my marketing experience that I had when I was out in LA. And I was just like, oh, I mean, I'm I need to do something. Like, this is starting to pay some money. I guess I can do this. And so from there, it was like, I'm kind of becoming not just a participant, but actually like, you know,
Did we lose Maker? I think we might have lost you, brother.
Man.
Oh, hold on. You're back. You're back. Hold on. Are you now you're muted. There we go. Oh boy.
Can you hear me?
Are you there?
I can hear you.
There we go. There we go. Yes. All right. You're back.
This is good. I get like my own like filter stop. So if I ramble, it'll just reset me. Okay, so I'm in the crypto space.
Yeah.
Last spring, April, Pepe, the meme coin, comes out. Absolutely takes off. I was lucky to get in early because, again, I'm on the space all the time. So that kickstarted this meta of a lot of things happening within crypto, a lot of things pumping, and a lot of things dumping. This started to get me very frustrated and upset because I'm seeing a lot of the friends that I've made in crypto. A lot of guys who are in NFTs who aren't necessarily used to like what a rug pull is, what a honeypot is.
Right.
And there's a lot of inexperience when it comes to like, yeah, we're just here having fun. Wait a second, I lost all my money. What do you mean? Like, instead of an NFT where it's like, somebody I can bid it or something.
Right.
You know, I sell it to a bid. And that just got me really upset. So I'm like, look, if I know how to launch a coin. I know technically how to market said coin. What if I'm able to basically give back to just my close circle of crypto people that I know, in terms of like, I have a decently like moderately successful Twitter account in terms of like, I've committed to making it like a business. And I'm not just on there for fun. Like, I'm on there to actually be in the space again, like I said. And so it's like, great, let me launch a coin. How can I possibly not rug people is literally what my first thought was. It's like, I can't do this. I can't launch something and rug them.
Right.
And so then the first thought came to my mind was like, wait a second. Like, if I am a Christian,
right,
I'm going to put everything I can into this. Everything I do for Jesus. It only makes sense to launch something that is Jesus. And Jesus stands for literally like, he'll never leave you. He'll never forsake you. He died for your, like, literally so many things. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, this is actually perfect. The culture behind Jesus in and of itself is kind of the perfect meme coin in terms of like culture, conviction, community, like belief, like all, like we do that. We crypto degens do that. They'll put their faith in Pepe and you're like pretending to like bow down to a frog, but it's like, what's happening here?
It's the whole narrative idea, but this isn't a narrative. This is a truth, a faith-based, like, this is my truth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it, like you said, it doesn't rely on a short internet meme. It's not like, oh, there's, you know, that Huck 2 whatever girl that's like trending like crazy.
Right.
And it's like, no one's going to remember her in 2 months.
No.
And so I was like, okay, this is actually perfect. And so of course I was like, well, let me do the thing. I'm not an actual dev, but I know kind of how to do things. So I reached out to a couple of friends and they're like, bro, we do not want to be involved in a meme coin. We'll help you launch it. Like, we'll help you get set up, like how you can launch it. But we are not going to be publicly doxed in this.
Right. Even now, you'd given them the premise that you wanted to do a Jesus-centric token.
Exactly.
And are they Christians? Or
they were not. No, they weren't.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Because it's crypto is such a small space, anyways. It's like you're really grasping at straws just to find people to help who would do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so then from there, it's like, okay, we used Pink Sale, which is basically like a plug and play, copy paste, just launch.
Yeah.
We did a pre-sale, which was
it was a fair launch.
It was a fair launch. The pre-sale was literally like, hey guys, there's some random NFT collection. Like, go own one of those. Right. Hey guys, if you like respond to this tweet, like it was I think there were 68 people who were total in the pre-sale.
Okay.
All of those people are out, by the way. They sold immediately. And what happened was, it launches. There's an iconic video of me like rambling like a madman and outside. And it launches. I accidentally don't give myself any tokens, which was the good Lord, honestly, protecting me on a legal standpoint and protecting the project.
Hold on, you launched your own project and failed to realize, hey, I should probably have some tokens here.
Yes. So I did it. I did the whole thing backwards because again, the devs were like, hey, bro, here's what you do. Go do it.
Right.
And so I'm inputting the numbers into Ping Sale, and I just I reverse where they're supposed to go. And so what was supposed to be like, hey, let's set aside some money for marketing. That's what people do. Let's set aside some money for exchanges. That's what people do.
Right.
All of those got reversed. And then the amount that was supposed to be available to the public, that got locked. So 80% of the coin got locked. It was supposed to be in the liquidity pool, but it was just locked.
It's just locked liquidity. Okay.
And then the rest of it was like for the public. So it's like, who launches a coin and doesn't give like the majority of the circulating supply into like to be able to be bought on the market?
Right.
But it's just how it happened. And that, so yeah, anyway, so I'm freaking out. I buy back into my own coin because I'm like, I mean, it's my coin. I have to own some of it.
Right.
And so that then kickstarts this like wild narrative of like 500 holders to 1,000 to 5,000 to it's like now we're at 17,000 holders.
Yeah.
And we've had multiple waves, you know, of peaks and valleys, which as comes and goes with this territory, especially with the volatility of meme coins, something this market cap is literally a given. And now it's like people are kind of sensing that in general, the, you know, summer is here, obviously, but you know, that sell in May, go away or whatever. I think maybe, sure, we've had some Bitcoin is down from all-time highs. We dipped below 60K.
Right.
But then like the ETH ETF, like rumors coming through, like there's a lot of things on a macro level that points towards that this cycle is not done. A lot of these coins from this new generation are not necessarily finished yet. I mean, Pepe is still continuing to move. Like these leaders are still continuing to move. Yeah. Luckily, the grifting is kind of decreasing. Honestly, it shifted over to these celebrity cash grabs on Solana.
Yeah.
But again, those are becoming less and less successful. So I think people are becoming aware. And anyways, that has led to like we've now created a community of people who are like-minded in the fact that they all love Jesus.
Yeah.
And they're like, wait a second, if I'm going to put in my bio, like, you know, what do people put? They put like, Jesus loves you, or like the, you know, Bible verse in the Bible, like they all put something in the bio. And it's like, we're in crypto. We're extremely proud of our faith. Like we're not shying away from what we do anyways. So it only makes sense to like, yeah, this is a part of what we do. And we want to be surrounded by other believers who have similar beliefs and similar convictions in terms of like being generous, not being selfish, not, you know, screwing people over if you can, like all of these things that unfortunately crypto is so known for. Like it's like, that's why I launched it.
Maker.
And you are not.
You there?
I'm back. Okay, can you hear me?
All right, he's back. That's why I launched it. You're muted again.
Can you hear me now?
There we go. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that's why I launched it, because Jesus Coin was launched as like, there has to be someone who stands for goodness, who stands for truth, who stands for good, like conservative Christian values, which is what I based my entire, I could not in good conscience do two things. I could not shill something I didn't believe in and pretend like, oh yeah, like we got the string cheese coin, like that's going, it's like, are you kidding me?
Going to the moon, baby.
No, it's not. And then I couldn't also like, as a believer, as a strong Christian, there's no way that I could do this in bad faith in terms of like trying to take advantage of people, trying to screw people over, like blasphemous, taking like the Lord's name in vain and like misquoting scripture and all this stuff. It's like, there is no, and I say it all the time, where it's like, if you truly like have beliefs or convictions that what you think that we're, and it's not just someone hating on the project, because they're always going to have people who do that.
Yeah, for sure.
You truly have biblical references and like actual, like from God's word that says like, here's why, you know, maybe you shouldn't, or maybe you're doing it wrong, or you did this wrong, or you shouldn't have said this. I'm literally so open to hearing that kind of feedback, because again, I have peace about doing this project. there was a moment before launching it when my wife and I prayed and we were like, is this something we actually want to do? Like, is this blasphemous? Like, does this contradict our faith? Are we like, is this mixing greed and the Bible? Like, are we the money changers? You know what I mean?
So, what I love, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. What I love is that, so in exactly what you just asked there, it was one of my first questions, like I said, when Lee would come into the stream and chill it. But what I love is that you're actually like the entire project, from what you're doing here to we'll get into Crypto Church to Do Good Give More, like it literally is faith Christianity based. I mean, we're talking about people are tithing with this token. People are ultimately giving the opportunity to, I think was there a church that got built as part of what's happened through the token? I think, if I'm not mistaken, is that correct? Oh, I lost you, Maker. There. Oh, I see you now. You're moving. Your mouth's moving. Now talk.
Okay.
Was there a church that was built surrounding something that you guys are doing, or money that was given towards a church plant or something?
There was a pastor who reached out, I think, to Lee or one of the holders, and again, fully community. And that's my biggest thing with this whole thing is, it's like, this cannot be about me. If this project lives and dies because of me making a funny video on Twitter, like, then it's not a sustainable project and it's not focused on the right thing. Like, I can't be the face of this because Jesus is the face of this. That's why the logo is.
And you're doing it to glorify him and introduce more people.
Exactly.
And I think, dude, the crypto space, not just the crypto space, but just the internet in general, is rife with just absolute evil trash. Just not good stuff. And so what I love is that, you know what, this does give an opportunity for people to get involved in the faith that maybe otherwise wouldn't. Like think about it, because there's a lot of people that have been, we kind of touched on this before the stream, you and I, but like, there's a lot of people that maybe have been touched in maybe I don't want to use that term, that have been impacted negatively by their home church. And then they shy away, not just from that church, but they shy away from the faith as a whole. And that's tragic to me, right? Because the reality is, it is men that are leading these churches, and men are fallible, right? We'll get into some of my story later and where I was before versus where I'm at now. You would not have wanted to follow me 8-10 years ago. I would have led you to death, right? And so ultimately, men are fallible, and I think that it's a cool opportunity for people that are maybe just into crypto, and then they maybe say, let me dip my toe in here. I'm interested in what this is, and as a side note, I might be able to make some money, so let me check it out. And then one thing leads, one foot moves in front of the other, and all of a sudden you've got somebody going to Crypto Church on throughout the week or whatever. Man, I love it. So
it's cool. Yeah.
So talk to me about, there's and let me tell the chat. So for the giveaway, because I know people are probably wondering, I want to see some God sightings in the chat. So if you have like a short little God sighting or a good reason for one of you to be able to take home the $300 today, let me know. I want to see that in the chat, and we will pick it later. But talk to me about what you guys are doing with Crypto Church. I was especially interested in that because I think there's a lot of people that will use almost any excuse to not go to church. Talk to me about Crypto Church. I'm interested in that.
I would love to. I saw a comment that I want to address though real quick. I think this guy's looking at the wrong website. This Dave Digital.
Okay. Yeah. What did he say?
He says Jesus Coin is the satire providing sin forgiveness and record transaction speeds between you. That's
okay. So I know Dave. He's being a smart ass.
Okay. Yeah, okay. But I wanted let me just
but address it. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. There was a scam rug project that was launched, I think, on Binance Smart Chain in like 2018 or 2019 or something. That is Jesus Coin. Like the ticker is, I won't say the ticker just because.
But yeah.
But it was
there was one thing that was similar.
And it's like, and that to me, it's not that there's like a gray area, because it's like, it's pretty obvious. Like, if your heart is right, if the messaging is incorrect. And so it's like, there was a project saying things like that, which was awful. Absolutely awful. Okay. Crypto Church. Here we go. Crypto Church was launched by the community, not me at all. Basically people, we had, again, valleys, and so we were kind of in a valley, and the community is like, we're not going anywhere. We are here for Jesus. Like, we are here in crypto. We love Jesus. We love Jesus Coin. We love the people we've met in Jesus Coin. So let's do something. Like, let's share our faith. Let's hang out. And so it was launched basically is like, hey, we want to start talking about God, like live on Twitter. Are we allowed to do that? Like, can we in this day and age?
Right.
And from there, it was literally, it started with like a worship night where people will just come up and play worship music and hang out together. Then there was a testimony night, which has been the most popular, I think, if I look at the numbers. And it's literally people just coming on and sharing their testimonies. And I don't think the coin is mentioned even maybe a couple times where it's like, hey guys, we're at the Jesus coin community. Okay, let's get to the business, which is Jesus. Like, let's talk about Jesus.
Right.
And it's crazy. So the goal has been like, well, let's do 7 days a week. Let's have a topic for everyone. The goal eventually as things grow is like, what if there's just always church happening? What if you can always log into a major social media platform and there's always church? Obviously you have replays and you have churches, my church has an awesome streaming service, like a streaming distribution, I guess, where they have YouTube and Facebook and stuff. But what is so unique about this is the guard, like you're talking about how people have been hurt sometimes by the church. There's this guard of like, oh, it's the church. I don't want to be impacted negatively or positively because I'm so hurt inside. And we have grace for those people, obviously. But what's so cool about this is you have something that's native. It's like native internet, native crypto. It's native degens who are just like everyday people who want to talk about God. And the things that have come out of that, where it's like, they were able to build a church in Pakistan for a pastor out there who reached out. We were able to give thousands of dollars just this past summer. We were able to pay for like kids to go to summer camp, to a Young Life camp at summer camp. And it's like, that is cool. Like, that is crypto. Like, that is the community that I am incredibly proud to be a part of. And that I know is an infectious community where it's like, the more people hear about things like that and they see, it's like, no, actually, you don't have to just be about Lambos and Rolexes, which are awesome. Like, I have no problem with, if you are a responsible citizen and giver and you're tithing, and like, we can get into that, but it's like, if you have been blessed financially,
that's okay.
Buy your Lambo. That's fine. Great. But I'm also equally as passionate about the generosity side of things. And so it's like, I think people want to see a different light. People, there's a reason Mr. Beast blew up to the level that he did, which is he's just giving money away all the time.
That's a good point.
And for us to have a ability to do that and have just a community who's more passionate about talking about God than actually talking about the chart is massive to me.
Yeah. And you know what? It's actually, so I've been obviously digging and diving into this, and I'm a holder and all of those things. But ultimately what I noticed was how little the actual, exactly what you're saying, the chart or the token was talked about. Like, genuinely, you have a project, because it seems like all the time when I talk about like a meme coin that I'm on the team of, we're always talking about, where are we at on the chart? Right? Where are we at? Why are we there? What's the next promotional step? Like, it's all so money centric. And so one of the things that I really loved here was like, wow, I get to actually share a real life example of the most important thing in my life, which is my relationship with him. And I can share that on a basis with other people who are either like-minded or people maybe that are in the chat maybe right now that aren't, and are like, oh shoot, I didn't know Keeper was a believer. Let me just like listen for a little bit or whatever. I feel like I haven't done my job at all as a Christian if somebody didn't know. but hey, listen, that's on me, right? But and so I'm really excited about what you guys are doing. So talk to me a little bit about what your plans are moving forward. So I know that there is, I'm going to pull this up real quick. I know that, so if you go onto the website, the website is jesuscoin.xyz. There's a little giving spot up here, right? And if I click this giving, it has basically what looks like a little almost DEX, right? And you can choose a different organization. And literally, you've got all of these different organizations where people can go in and they can gift crypto. Is it specifically Jesus coin, or how does this work?
All crypto. So this
all
is
crypto.
Okay. This is a partnership with Donorship down there. You can see it on the bottom of the widget. Which was for me basically like, if I'm saying that we're wanting to build this basically like charitable faith-based ecosystem that has come out of, the meme coin itself, where obviously the meme coin stands alone. But now it's like, well, we got to do something. I can't just, I'm here for a reason. And so using that platform, using the success of that coin, like, let's keep things going. And so wanted to get that out there where it's like, I literally do my Sunday tithe in crypto to my church through that widget, which is so cool to me. It's just,
dude, it is. So many people at my church ask me about crypto. If I was like, hey, if you've had some good gains lately and you want to use that instead of fiat, here's an opportunity to do it. Do they take a piece of the action? Just asking you one of the tough questions. Does donorship take a piece of the action?
Yeah, donorship does. Yeah.
So how much do they take? Do you know?
Yeah, I'll tell you. So donorship is, it kind of sucks, but I'll give you, I guess, the comparison to kind of compare. So it's 3% donorship, 3% to Giving Block, 3% to the widget to us right now.
Okay.
My goal is to make that as low as possible.
Right. But 91% is going to where it's supposed to go.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
If you compare that to like, Web2 charities, like giving to World Vision or some, big organization, I mean, fees can be like 10 to 30% in terms of transaction, obviously, but then operation and admin, and it's like the money. So in general, it's on the low side of things. My goal is to get that as low as possible, as quick as possible. But it's just like the reality of, like website hosting, and it's like trying to cover some costs from that.
Right. No, that totally makes sense.
And so, and if you guys have a charity or a church that you want to start accepting crypto as donations, the Giving Block, you can actually onboard them pretty easily actually to that. And then that will show up on, obviously you can donate on the Giving Block as well, but you can also donate on this widget. And the Giving Block only accepts certain crypto versus donorship accepts all like ERC20s and other blockchains as well, which is why we had to partner with them.
Hold on, I could literally donate a random meme coin.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Because what they do on the back end is they swap it.
They sell it.
Yeah.
They sell it, of course. Yeah.
But it's not you selling. It's not.
That's right. That's right. You know what? I didn't actually sell. I donated it because I did. Yeah, exactly.
I'm just imagining like some team who owns like 80% of a supply, and they're just like full clip donate. And like, it wasn't us, guys.
And then they're like, wait a minute, look what you guys just did.
Yeah.
No, for sure. Well, what's the future look like, man? Like, what's your
future for me is, man, and it's all about resources, where it's like, again, like we're starting small, balling on a budget. I wanted to have some form of giving like there where we can at least do it. So that's where the widget is. In the future, the goal would be like, I mean, I truly believe that the blockchain and the transparency of crypto is going to completely change charity, churches, administrative, like transparency, all of that, because it comes down to like, where is the money going? How much money? Like, you'll be able to see how many fees. You don't have to dig through paperwork to be like, why did the CEO get paid $8 million, but you only donated $2 million to Africa? You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And the good quote unquote charities who care about like the mission and like transparency, they're going to flock to this kind of effort. So for me, it's very early in terms of crypto and charity in general. And I think there's a decent opportunity for us as a community to be native crypto. It's not that we're like people who are wealthy Web2. Yeah, sure, let's donate in crypto. It's like, no, this is a community who is crypto. Like, we live and breathe crypto. And that's why we launched this thing called Do Good, Give More, which is the slogan that actually my wife and I came up with. I came up with something and then she changed it, and I was like, oh, that's brilliant.
There's a guy in the chat, Crypto Billy, that has a hashtag Givers Gain. So something similar.
That's sick.
So yeah, a bunch of people talk about that. Yeah,
I love that. And so like DGGM is basically this concept of like, well, what if we can make a native crypto charity organization like on the blockchain with a smart contracts that facilitates giving, where it's like, you give $100 and maybe it's donation matched by like a sponsor, a corporate sponsor or something. Like, let's say we partner with like, the Arbitrum Foundation, and it's like they'll match up to $100 of a donation to X. Like, those are the dreams that I have with this like charity side of the project. And obviously things take time and resources. So again, starting slow, it's like we have the widget, we have the website, so we're working on that. We have the smart contracts, where it's like kind of digging into really I mean, it's very simple. It's just like it's a transfer function. Like, it's not a complicated contract, but coming up with ways of like, well, let's make this like let's build something that if we make it open source, like people will see value in, like, oh yeah, that's a forked version of the Jesus coin, like giving contract. Like, how cool would that be? So all of that is what I'm pushing for. And again, it's God's.
I lost you, Maker.
And managing like rolling back into the protocol? Probably. Are there fees? How does that work? Does that roll into a pot, and then maybe that pot is what people can kind of be gifted? So now we are able to give as well as an organization, not just facilitating things.
Yeah.
So there's a lot that I would want to do.
So then let me ask you this, and then I want to hear kind of some of your testimony. I'm going to give some of mine too. So let's say somebody gets in, let's say they're like, you know what, I really love the mission here, whether they're just doing some charitable stuff or whether they just personally say, hey, I want to be a part of the community. I'm going to buy some Jesus tokens, right? I remember there being, from talking to Lee a little bit, I remember him saying that a lot of people do their tithes or whatnot. Let's say somebody gets in, I think it's at like 16 million right now. Let's just say the actual project, if we're talking, you know, token wise, goes back up to its all-time highs at 100 million or 90 million or whatever that all-time high was when you guys did that baptism by fire, I believe, back in December of 2023, right?
Yeah.
Didn't you guys burn like 80% of the tokens?
Yeah, like 80. It was technically $200 million. Like, obviously, you know,
right.
But the LP was 3 million, so theoretically, it was 80% of 3 million. But yeah,
well, I mean, you guys have got locked liquidity of like and I want to tell everybody this, like, because I think this is important, right? We're in crypto, so people care about this. There's 2.226. It doesn't show right on Dex Tools, but it's locked liquidity. There's $2.226 million of locked liquidity. This is no joke. Like, if you look at most of the other meme tokens, good luck finding that, right? And this is not just the meme side of this. This is, hey, we're living out real deal our beliefs and showing it to other people and sharing it. So let's say somebody comes in and they end up, you know, putting some money in, and they're part of the community and they're having fun and they're making money on this. Is there any sort of I don't want to call it an obligation, but like, is there a lot of like almost like an unspoken like thing, like you know, hey, you should tithe some of your gains or whatever? Or is that just, hey, you do with it what you feel like you should as a responsible Christian? Like, what's that look like? I'm just curious.
Yeah, and we'll talk about this in Crypto Church, where it's like, I'm always encouraging people to be generous. Obviously, as Christians, like, tithing is biblical, where it's like Christians are supposed to tithe. If you're not a Christian, I mean, technically you don't have to tithe. But the concept of generosity is something that non-Christians can understand in giving. And so, no, there's no obligation. Even things that have been paid for by the community, it's like sometimes we'll do a donation campaign where it's like, for example, hey guys, we're bridging over to Solana so that we can have the reason was, let's make it easier to buy Jesus coins. So like, less fees on Solana. Let's go over there. So we did a fundraising campaign, and people donated so that we could have a liquidity pool over there. And it's like, so that was that. And again, no compulsion, no obligation. But my goal is basically like, let's create a culture that shows people that being different and being generous is actually the better option than being greedy and being selfish.
Actually living out what it is that you're talking about, which you're promoting Jesus. So you better be doing. And plus you got the hair too, bro. So like, let's talk about it, right? You got the hair and you've got Jesus token, which you got to live that out for sure. For sure. So talk to me about that, dude. Like, I'd love to hear just a piece of your testimony, the whole thing, whatever. Talk to me about a little bit about your background.
I'll make it quick, because, you know, everybody want to respect everyone's time. I grew up in a very conservative Christian home. My parents were Presbyterian, so very, like, I was an acolyte, you know, with the candle and the robes and like doing that thing. And my dad was in the army, so we moved around a lot. So it's like, there wasn't this idea of community within a church, wasn't really a thing that I experienced. And so my relationship with God was just my parents. Like, it just existed, and I went to church because that's what we do. That led to basically me going to college and basically being like, so I don't have to go to church anymore? Okay, cool. Just in terms of I'm like, I'm doing stuff. I don't know. God loves me. Like, you know, the idea of a personal relationship and like truly understanding again, like what grace means, what it means that he truly provides for us. And like, you know, you wake up in the morning because God says you wake up in the morning. Like, that truly is the reality that a lot of people don't live within. And I definitely didn't. So college got a little crazy in terms of like, you know, just drinking and partying. And luckily I woke up very quickly, which again is God, where it's like, man, if I had gone too far in that route, I don't think I would have been able to get out as easily. And so it was literally like, I say I was partying through college. It was literally like the first semester, and I get my midterm grades. And I mean, mind you, again,
and Jesus was not impressed.
Yes, he's like, what do you do? Like, you're paying how much money for this, and you're failing your classes. So that was more of like a come to Jesus in terms of work ethic. And it's like, bro, you got to do something, like at least do that. And so that kind of set me back on a normal trajectory. But then still from that, it's like I went to church when it was convenient. I didn't have like a devotion. I didn't, I prayed. Typically my prayers were very angry prayers where it's like, God, how dare you? Like, I thought you loved me, that I was going to get this thing. Cause I started modeling and acting right after college. And so it's like, I was working full-time modeling in Nashville for a year. After college, I moved to LA, and I was like literally the biggest ego, like narcissism to a T, because it's like I'm modeling, I'm acting. So it's like I'm trying to work out like crazy. I'm killing it on the diet, all of this stuff. Yeah. And being surrounded by LA culture where it's like very selfish, it's very goals oriented and striving. And I'm like, knowing had I had a strong foundation in Jesus before going out there, like my experience would have been completely different. But obviously God used that for a reason, where it's like, no, you needed that humbling moment of like, you're not like the top dog, like you're not the coolest person, the hottest, like all these things that model, like all these things that you have to deal with
bring you down.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's like literally I was working full time as a model in Nashville. I go out to LA and I don't get a single job. Like literally drop. And I'm like, what is happening? I thought I was good. And so then like all of this self-worth and all this stuff of like hardcore depression, because it's like, God, I thought you loved me. I thought you called me to be like a famous actor. And it's like, what now again, looking back in maturity, it's like, what are you doing? Like you're just, and so like that led to, again, it's like, am I drinking because I'm depressed? And then I'm continuing to drink because I'm depressed that I was depressed. You know what I'm saying? Now it's the cycle of this. And it's like, by the grace of God, to allow me to not have like, like ODs, like I'm not getting into drugs. So like, yes, I was fully protected in that regard. And like, even with like clubbing, it's like, I never liked clubs, but not because of a belief thing. It's because I was an introvert. It's like, I don't want to be, it's loud. I don't want to go to a club. And so I'm drinking at home. And it's like, these are the things where it's like, why? No, not why. I'm thankful. I'm grateful. And so anyways, that led to me. So I started dating my wife at the time. And well, no, my wife now. I started dating her, and we dated long distance. And she moved out to LA, and then so she came from a charismatic family, so very strong, spirit filled. This concept of like personal relationship is very real, like hearing from God, prophesying, all of these things. And that was so different from me. So we started going to church in LA, and she's like, worshiping, raising her hands. And I'm just like Presbyterian boy in the back.
Yeah. So much different, dude, depending on the different types of church that you go to. Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then I realized like, man, there's like so much freedom. Like these people have freedom and joy that I don't have. And it's not that you have to raise your hand, but it's like, I could recognize like, no, like they are in a healthier mindset and a healthier spiritual, just like spiritual place than I am. And so that then it's like, we'll do like maybe one hand, it's like maybe a clap down here kind of a thing. And now it's led to like, we go to a charismatic church here. And so I'm like, I've gone completely the other direction. But it started when I got baptized. Like I said in the beginning, I got baptized at 25, rebaptized because I was baptized as a kid, but like as an adult was baptized and filled with Holy Spirit, like got my prayer language. And the noise of me, like the noise of my brain, and like the lies of the enemy telling me like, you'll never be good enough unless you have X amount of money. You're not as good as those people who are successful. Like all of these lies that were just like basically keeping me at this level. That was all broken in an instant, really, to where my wife and I were like, oh, we're actually supposed to leave LA. Like we're supposed to leave. And so we left LA, we spent some time with her parents, then we moved down to Nashville. And now we're here. And it's like, the South.
Oh, you're in Nashville?
Yeah. Are you in Nashville?
I'll be there for the Bitcoin conference here.
Let's go. I have summer camp that week, but I think I'll be back for the Sunday. So I'm going to try to make it for the Sunday.
Cool.
And yeah, so now we're just like, life has changed in a term of like, provision financially, doors opening in terms of like work. Like I was able to get, I was consulting, but
are you full-time crypto?
I'm full-time crypto now. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I was actually working full-time marketing at a DeFi protocol called Teller. It's a loan protocol.
Yeah.
And then at the start of this year is when I was like, no, let me just go full-time Jesus coin and full-time trading.
Yeah.
So now that's what I'm doing is full-time crypto.
Oh, so you're trading too?
Yeah.
You any good?
Yeah. Gotta pay the bills somehow. So
interesting.
We've been able to.
We need to chat. What do you think about getting Maker to come on to Trading Wars? I have a show where I compete 10 I hate using the word influencers. 10 KOLs, right?
Okay.
10 KOLs against each other on Mondays. And then this season I'm doing on Tuesdays, people from the audience, and I kick 2 people off of each stream on every show, right? And then ultimately on Thursday, my buddy CryptoFace, who owns Market Cypher, CryptoFace is like the gulag monster, and somebody, the one person that has the highest P&L from the 4 people that got kicked off will go on Thursday for their opportunity to continue playing throughout the weeks. It's season 5 now, so yeah, it's been fun, dude. We've been making people live trade for money, and it's somebody else's money, right?
I love
it. The exchange gives them the money to be able to trade. So maybe I'll have to get you on the roster. It's
that sounds fun. Is it like 100x perps or whatever?
Or you can do whatever. If the exchange offers it, you can do it.
Wow.
But if you get liquidated, you're kicked. So
that's right. Exactly.
Well, that's interesting. Let's chat about that some more.
That's cool,
man.
Yeah.
So full-time crypto now, and you've got a church home there? I'm guessing people in your church are involved with Jesus Coin, I'm sure, as well.
Actually,
no, really,
no.
Okay.
No, there was this like hesitation that I have. Again, it's such. This is how I know that it's such a God thing, is because he's basically does the work where he'll open doors, and even on things that I'm hesitant for, it's like typically I'm hesitant for a reason, and it's not me, or he'll do it anyways, and he'll make something happen. So no, and that was my thing, where it's like it was always hard for me to shill my own coin, because I'm like, I know the realities of meme coins. Like I know how volatile things can be, and especially the last move up, because it's like things, you're up 1,000%, then you're down 90, then you're up 10,000, like literally crazy.
Oh yeah,
moves.
it's all over the place.
Yeah, and so for people who are, I don't know how people in good conscience can say that, because like I've literally gone on AMAs and I'm like, y'all can sell. I literally don't care. Like I will always say, if you need to sell, or if you want to sell, or if you made money, freaking sell. I can't control your money.
Yeah.
And who does? Again, it's always like the hodl, like, you diamond hands, no one sell. And I don't care. It's not my money. Like, and
you need to be able to make money.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
and
you're
now
putting in money, and you want to be able to get returns on it, and then what you
Exactly.
do with your money is on you from there.
Exactly.
For
And
sure.
I know the tokenomics of the coin. I know the liquidity of the coin. I know the distribution, because it's all blockchain. It's all public. You can look at the bubble maps.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I know that like at these levels, I have zero problem shilling this, because I understand, like, it's basically a powder keg. Once the liquidity is crazy. So because, and this is all God, like, because things were locked, because things were renounced, because there weren't any extra supply, like supply hangover, like to dump into it, the pool has just been generating fees for over a year. And it was like, it started with 9 ETH or 12 ETH. I can't actually remember. I forgot the number. It's in a tweet. It's in a tweet somewhere. We'll just call it 9. It started with 9 ETH, and that has turned into 2 million. And it's not like other whales are adding into that to like, hey, I have a bag, let me add some into the LP. It's like 99.99% of that $2 million is from fees generated from trading. And that's why I've gone on like record to say, like, it's truly unruggable, because even if somebody dumps
a large bag,
it goes into, a percentage goes back into the LP, and ideally distribution kind of like equalizes. And then,
so is there a sell tax on it, a buy tax on it? What?
My gosh, no.
Okay.
What am I going to profit off of the good Lord?
No, I just didn't know if it went into like one of the foundations to build something or whatever,
So it's like, here are the numbers. You ready? There has been over $300 million in trading.
Wow.
That has led to $2 million in the LP.
Wow.
You ready? I saw yesterday that Mog Coin did $30 million in trading. That's if that was our coin, that would be $90,000 being added directly into the LP that day. So it's like, there are coins that do 10 million a day, 50, like there are coins that do massive volumes. And so I know that like, it's literally a matter of time until that liquidity pool is sitting at like $10 million.
Yeah.
And now you're like, wait, what other coins have LPs with $10 million?
Yeah.
You're talking like like the ultra elite of these top coins.
Mm-hmm.
And that is when the unruggable of like, this coin is literally not that it's going to infinity, because like that's obviously it's impossible.
Yeah.
You know, market caps exist and FDBs and such.
Right.
But truly that pool is going to grow until like for infinity. That pool will grow for infinity.
Yeah.
To where like you're not even going to be like, you're going to have someone sell $1 million and it's going to be a 10% dip.
Yeah. And like an actual, instead of literally crushing the project.
Yes, exactly. And so since the last all-time highs, we have the same liquidity now down at this level that we did at our last all-time high,
which is huge. That
doesn't happen.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. I was looking at that, and that was one of the things, because I know, like I kind of, I'll bring it back to the face side of things. The people that ultimately do look at some of the pastors with their private jets and like things like that, I could see people pointing and saying, "Oh yeah, they got a crypto meme coin. I wonder who's profiting off of that." You know, like there's those feelings that are there for people. And I've talked to people. A close friend of mine is somebody that ultimately is always cracking jokes about Jesus, and he was gonna be a pastor before. And so like he's done this total, and a lot of it has been a really bad experience through his uncle and his uncle's church. And it's like, I want to try to help guide him back, but he's so cynical about it now, you know, and all I can do is just be a witness. He's seen what I've been able to do, but in the same breath, like he's also had some great triumphs as well. And so, you know, so people got to find their way. I'm just hoping that he does find his way back. So there's a lot of people in the chat, guys. I see all of you. I love you guys. I appreciate you all for being here. I'm gonna be doing the giveaway here in a few minutes. I just want to give a little piece of what God's done for me real quick. So I won't give you trust me, we'd be here for days. I feel like I should write a book with all of the chaos that has actually been in my life in the past, which ultimately has turned into blessings. But yeah, I was raised in a Christian home, and we went to church because that's what you did. Kind of same thing that you were saying, right? I enjoyed going to church. It was something that we did. It was not an option. Like you were going unless you were sick, right? And so I was raised in that faith-filled home, Christian parents, like very much, you know, led to pray and believe. And like I got saved at a young age and all of these things. But there was something inside of me that just, no matter what the case was for a long, long time, if you told me not to do something, I needed to find out on my own why. And I was going to show you why I could do it or should do the opposite. And I don't know what that was inside of me or what I was searching for or whatever. And so as I got older, you know, I looked a little bit older than the kids my age, and I was always very personable. And so I was able to buy beer. We're going to high school. I was able to buy beer in high school. And so one of the things that I recognized looking back on it that I craved and loved was people needing me. And so like when the parties would happen, it would be like, where's Keeper with they didn't call me Keeper then, but where's Keeper with the beer? You know what I mean? And people needed me. Then, you know, weed rolls around and I'm like, well, I'm friends with everybody. Everybody's going to need me for this and I can make money. You know, I was the kid that my dad would hand me. I was really spoiled. My dad would hand me $50 or $100 to go to a football game and then not ask me for change afterwards. Right. So I had started to build up some money. Then I started hustling and selling drugs, and I loved what the money was able to do for me. And very quickly I was lost. I mean, absolutely lost. And it was always on I want people I know this now. I didn't know this then. It was always a very much, I want my, it was my pager back then going off. I want my pager going off, or I want my cell phone going off or whatever. Like I wanted to feel needed by everybody. Right. And I look back on that now and recognize how sick that is, but I was just very sick. And it was also money and me centric related that I never thought that I was actually going to go down the path that I went. And there's a saying in the movie Scarface, you know, don't get high on your own supply or whatever, right? And I started trying everything. I was like, man, these people are buying this like crazy. I'm making great money. Like, what is going on here? And I had tried and done basically everything. And what I recognized was that the only thing I ever had success with using was alcohol. I was able to just kind of have a couple drinks and then didn't really care, whatever. But when it came to pain medication, it just took me to, opiates took me to another planet. And it was like I had found my thing. And I thought that this was the greatest thing ever. And it did great things for me in the bedroom. And it did great, just like all of the life that I was living, it just took me there. Right. And in high school, I got kicked off I had given this is kind of important here because I recognize looking back where this took me really fast. I was a left-handed pitcher on the baseball team, and I was pretty solid. And I ultimately gave one of my buddies an Oxycontin for his birthday. And I said, hey man, listen, you don't take this stuff. Mind you, I had stolen it from my mom, who was on meds, heavy meds for being sick, right? So it's disgusting in and of itself. But I had given one to him, and I told him, hey, you need to break this into like at least a half, maybe a quarter. He didn't listen to me. He took the whole thing. He ended up in the hospital. He dimed me out for, where'd you get it? Where'd you get it? And I had like 100 of them in my pocket at school, and the police officer came down, pulled me out of class. That's a felony. Like that is not a joke on school grounds, especially. Like that would have been a lot of jail time. And the police officer, I'll never forget, he said, you know what? I know you, I know your family. I know you're better than this. He was like, I'm going to tell your baseball coach, pour those down the sink. I'm turning on the disposal. We're going to forget this happened. So these are some of the God things that I feel like looking back happened, so that I didn't go to prison. I was about to be 18 when this happened, And so fast forward, my life just spiraled. I could be here for days, and I don't want to get into all that, but my life just really spiraled, and I was just absolutely lost, totally lost. I have taken shots, like in terms of like firearms, like been to jail multiple times, like really lived a very rough, when it got into the heroin side of things, it just got really, really dark and deep and whatever. And the thing was, I always knew that Jesus was my Lord and Savior, but I just had walked away. And it wasn't a purposeful, I'm turning my back on him. He hasn't. It was that I was so self-involved in the life that I was leading that I didn't feel like I even had time for anything else, right? Like I was just living this awful, dark life. And, to wrap all that up, like ultimately about 7 or 8 years ago, I got into some trouble, and I was going to go to prison, like actual big boy prison. I was going to be in some big trouble. And I got given one more chance, and the young probation officer, she was like 23 years old, and I was so upset with her at the time, but she basically looked at me and said, hey, listen, you've got 1 week to come back in here, and you have to come back in here clean, and you can't use detox meds. And I thought that literally I had every word in the book for her, right? To say what what is how I felt. But she put my back against the wall, and I recognized that I was going to go to prison. Like I was going to get years of prison time. And I've never looked back since then. I said, you know what? I've been saved. So I could tell you so many countless stories of God reaching down and saving me from gunfire, saving me from, prison time, saving me. And I look back on it, and I know that's what it was. Like he had a plan for me. And I fast forward to where I'm at now. I own 4 successful businesses. I've got a beautiful 3-year-old daughter. Like I've got just an awesome life that I lead. And it's all due to him. I've been speaking in schools. I get to go in front of schools, and I haven't done it for a little while because they wouldn't let me talk about the Jesus side of it, which, side note, that just sucks. So I love this community even more for that, because I can, obviously go there. But God's just done such a great thing in my life and brought me through and saved me. And my life is literally just like most of the people that watching the stream probably know maybe a little piece that maybe Keeper was crazy or whatever, but like I want people to know that literally the shill here, if you want to hear a shill, is that Jesus literally can and will save you. I actually want to just read this real quick, because I heard this on church on Sunday, and I just wanted to read one quick passage that I literally kept pulled up on my phone because I wanted to read it here for this today. And I thought this was cool, just kind of as an overview to what we've been talking about. It's 1 John 4, 7 through 11. I literally have a note that says, Jesus token stream, read, next to my notes in church. It says, no one has ever seen God in all his glory, but they have seen you. So when people meet you or see you or spend time with you, are you bringing them closer to the reality of God's existence? Hold on a second. Hold on. Hold on, back that up. Oh shoot! I literally started to look at the actual notes. Hold on, give me 1 second, guys. I need to pull up my Bible app. I wanted to read the actual scripture. Here it is. There you go. I'm sorry. All right, dear friends, let us love one another, for love comes from God. Everyone who loves has been born of God and knows God. Whoever does not love does not know God, because God is love. This is how God showed his love among us. He sent his one and only Son into the world that we might live through him. This is his love. This is love. Not that we loved God, but that he loved us and sent his Son and an atoning sacrifice for our sins. Dear friends, since God so loved us, we also ought to love one another. And I just think that says it, right? I think so many times people put all of these crazy complexities and rules and things that have to happen and this, that, and the third. And I think that this is an example with the community that you have built here that says, hey, maybe this doesn't look like what you know is the traditional like church when we talk about crypto church or whatever. But the reality is we're sharing God's love between people that want to talk about what he's done for them. And I'm with it, dude. So I just wanted to say thank you. Like literally, this is such a cool thing. And when Lee offered to throw me some money to do the stream, I was like, well, dude, I'm in with what you guys are doing. I'm giving this to somebody. So I just want to say thank you, dude. It's been great for sure. For real.
For sure, dude. And thanks for sharing your testimony too.
Yeah.
That's my dude. I think the one thing that the enemy obviously wants is isolation and shame. And I think the more people like you with a platform, people in spaces that people aren't used to hearing testimonies, I think that's when like truly chains are going to fall off of people. And like there's going to be freedom in a way that we haven't seen in a very long time on the internet, like specifically. So thank you for sharing. Super cool story.
Dude, I just feel very, very blessed. And man, there's so much good. Everybody that I meet, honestly, this is a true story. There's a lot of chaos. Like I go to a lot of the events in the crypto space. There's a lot of chaos. There's a lot of parties. There's strip clubs and doing all of that, right? But I think at the core, from what I've met from most of the people that I've met in real life in crypto, they're really good people. There's a number of people in the chat right now that I've met in person, that I've had dinner with, that I've spent time with, that literally I would have never met had it been for crypto. And I think that it's an opportunity for all of us to share God's love in a different way, where we have contact with people you and I would have never met, right? Like we just wouldn't, right? Oh. And I think it just gives an opportunity. And so I love the platform that, I mean, the most sold book ever on planet Earth is the Bible, ladies and gentlemen, in case you were wondering, the little trivia there. Jesus isn't going anywhere. He's coming back, right? And I just love what you guys are doing. So let's do the giveaway. It's getting to 2:00. I want to respect people's times. I think that first of all, let me just shout this out. 11-7 Productions, thank you very much for the super chat. Appreciate you very much. If you come back on a Friday, I do a little game show. I'll put you on the wheel for that. Thank you very much. Somebody put in a little God sighting. I don't know how many people heard me ask about that, but let me see where it went. Let me find it real quick. I saw one that I really liked, and I think I want to give the money to this person. I saw it and wanted to, just felt like I was supposed to give it to this person. So let me pull it up real quick. Hold on. I'm just looking back for it. Oh man, there's a lot going on in the chat, right?
I know. I'm trying to scroll through it too.
Where was it? I'm scrolling. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to find it. Why is my phone going nuts? Oh, there we go. All right. Where did it go? Oh boy. Oh, you know what? Yeah, let's do this one. I don't know if this is your community, or I've seen this name before, so I don't know if this person comes from you or mine, but I want somebody to do something good with this. I want to shout out JJ. JJ says that there's a homeless feeding program within my area that I'd like to help to donate to if one today. So JJ, are you still in the chat? I would love to do that. Get with me in the actually hit me up on, well, message here. Let me know that you're in the chat here first, JJ, if you could. And JJ said, praise the Lord, 2:00. All right, fantastic. All right, JJ, you need to write this down real quick. Telegram @ the real CryptoKeeper. Just The Real CryptoKeeper spelled out. You got it? Let me know in the chat that you got that. It's just at The Real CryptoKeeper. Send me a message on there, and then I will get you linked up, and we will rock it out. I'm going to verify that you are who you are. I'm going to make you pull up your YouTube page, because there's too many people trying to act like somebody else and trying to do other than godly things. I can tell you that. So Maker, thank you very much for coming on, bro. It has been a blessing. Your community is awesome. I'm in. I'm going to be, listen, I'm going to tell you this, on the crypto side of things, I see where I think this thing is going, and I don't have any problem making money in crypto as well, on top of spreading God's word. Yeah. I'm in, bro. I bought some more earlier this morning, and I ultimately think that there's a great opportunity as well, and then be able to bless people with it also.
Yeah, I love it. So I love it.
Cool. Well, hey, thank you very much. We'll chat soon. Let's try to get together in Nashville when I come down.
Yeah.
For the event. You said you might be back Sunday.
I'm gonna try. You're
actually gonna be gone the whole week.
Yeah, we serve in youth camp, and so it's like Tuesday through Saturday, I think. So typically I'm sick, I have no voice, like on a Sunday. Yeah. But I'm gonna try to make it. I'm gonna try.
Well, we'll touch base between now and then. Thank you very much, Crypto Fam. We love you. Jesus loves you. Question everything, trust nothing except for your boy Keeper and Jesus. Until next time, hodl like it's hot. We'll see you soon.